This to me was a haven away from home. So it got me to be alive again and think and to be. So it can't be any better than that.
Lifetime Arts is a not-for-profit organization, an art service organization dedicated to promoting creative aging. And by that we mean instructional arts programs for older adults. We've developed a program and an organization that provides practical guidance and practical support. But the reason we do it is because we know that it really improves the lives of older adults. And there are personal reasons for doing this work, and that we want to age differently than our parents, for instance, have aged in this country. But there are also immediate benefits to the work that we're doing. We're actually changing lives right now in community organizations by putting teaching artists and librarians, for instance, together to serve the public.
When you get to a certain age, people treat you as invisible. Here, you're very visible. You're on show, you're doing the whole thing. Your old self comes back again.
You know, we all have our problems, age concerns, issues. It's slowed a bit serious, And as the class went on, people got more lighthearted. We talked to each other. Folks started looking younger, acting younger, like kids again. So we're kids again.
Given me the push to write some more, because I thought I was stuck when I first came here.
These teachers made it so exciting and fun, I couldn't wait to come here on Wednesdays. I really couldn't. It's my highlight of my life.
The knitting, the book, and the broom. Time for a holiday. Life is a cabaret, old chum. Come to the cabaret.
In each session, people are learning new techniques, whether it's watercolor, for instance. They're learning how to use brushes. They're learning how to mix paints. They're learning about color mixing. They're learning the basic elements of art. This is not passive entertainment. There are actual skills being built.
And our teacher is very dedicated
and
is a beautiful teacher, and I learned a lot from her. When I joined this class, I didn't know how to hold the brush even. She taught me everything, and I'm very happy with my work.
There was tremendous progress. I mean, some of the people in the beginning actually would come up in a scene exercise and would just stand there, and because they'd be in their heads, and they would feel like, oh, the class is judging me, I'm so dumb, I don't know what to say, I'm not creative, I'm not an actor, I've never done this, and the chatter mind would they would feel defeated. And so we would work hands-on with kind of removing judgment and allowing sort of that childlike playfulness to emerge. And then when they came out, it was like, wow!
It's been a long time since I traveled the train. I got a subway fever, already feeling the pain. Just waiting in line for it to come my way. I can feel a train coming. I can hear it in my brain.
There's been some terrific research that states that active engagement in instructional arts learning for older adults in particular is very beneficial for a lot of reasons, for cognitive strengthening, for making social connections, for actually working together in a social environment that creates new connections for people. Those of us who have been arts practitioners have always known that the arts are good for you, and research now tells us that in fact it's particularly good for older adults.
This is my oncologist, and then I had chemotherapy, so I put that there. And when I was on chemo, I had trouble eating. My appetite wasn't so good. So when they served bagels, the bagels seemed enormous. So I decided to put that in there. It was much larger than life. So we could take liberties with our artwork, with perspective colors, all kinds of things to make it exciting and interesting.
The need is so strong to do this that it creates these bonds that people have, working together over the course of time. That's the thing about these programs being over time as opposed to just a one-shot program. People bond over these things.
I was told to come in, and I sat right next to her, and I wasn't going to move no matter who came in. So we bonded from that moment. And she's like, girl, don't leave, sit. So I stayed.
George is a good friend of mine now, and we just met in this class.
Yes.
So painting brings together friendships.
We just see the people who have experienced losses in their lives. They're people at a time. They're just natural losses that occur. Children move away, loss of job, and they need to combat this.
I came here feeling very, very sad over something that happened in my life, and we've done it how many weeks? 9 now?
9 weeks. Yeah.
9 weeks. In 9 weeks, I put on makeup. Here I am. I'm happy. Yeah, and it made a big difference in my life.
This, for me, besides doing it for pleasure, it's also for health. Right now, you're out there and there's a lot of job interviews you go on and maybe you can't get them. So you come back to your house, you take your things, put them together, and you sit quietly and you start to draw. And you express yourself. So that way, you don't have to look forward to going to a doctor and getting a bottle of Xanax like everybody else. Because it's unfortunate you do see that a lot now. It's people running to the doctor's office to get something to calm them down from having anxiety attacks. I love this because it's healthy. And it's a way now I can express myself again finally.
So when I came into the group and began to listen to the women, and we realized how similar our backgrounds were, the more we talked and the more we shared our experiences, the more commonality I found. Very rarely do I speak of the celebrity of my family. Very rarely do I speak about my late son, Malik Sealy, who played for the NBA for 8 years. And this is really because, in my opinion, it skews things just a little. But in any event, as we went on, and we were together, I'd say for about 7 or 8 weeks, I began to think perhaps this is the group that could listen to my story and not make a judgment. Just understand that this was a person who had had a particular experience in her life and she was willing to share it. And that's why I was able to share for the first time on writing the experience of losing my son. I was frankly transfixed by the total collective sorrow on so many faces, all sizes, shapes, and colors. From all stations of life, it was overwhelming. All obviously working to be as cool as we are known to be. All of us suffering in different ways. Mom, I really gotta go. Love you. Okay, Malik, I love you too. See you when I see you.
We are finding ourselves creating the infrastructure of creating new resources, new materials, new documents, and we're sharing this information with more and more people, with more organizations. And so we're finding ourselves more and more in a position of leadership, not only locally and regionally, but nationally. We're now piloting the work in Miami, Dallas, and Boston. The arts are about human expression, and the arts are the way through which people explore the world and explore and find meaning in their lives. Sort of the petri dish where people are given access to thinking beyond themselves and to putting themselves and their personal lives in context.
We would get together, and as we would sing, whatever was going on in our lives would melt away, and we were able to just get into the song, the words, the music, and just be able to just lift our hearts. And I think for a lot of people, that's a really good thing to do for yourself.
None of us are allowed to be children in this world. Yeah. In this room, you're allowed to be a child.
Yes.
We all took their inner child and brought it to the fore and learned to play with it again.
Yep.
And if we can just hold that inner child in life, those minutes of joy build up, and eventually you've had a whole day of joy.